We welcome you to another edition of Economic Forum, where today we are going to be looking at business, the views of the business and commercial world with regards to our economic outlook. We are also going to be looking at their takeaways regarding the engagements that have been happening, such as the Zimbabwe-Rwanda trade and investment talks, as well as the Dubai Expo and the meetings that have been going on at COMESA. And to look at all those things, we've invited the president of the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Tinashe Manzungu. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Economic Forum. Thank you, Mr. Manzungu.
You are a business person in your own right. You are into construction, and you are one of the youngest presidents of the ZNCC. We congratulate you for that.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sure the youngsters are looking very much at your success, because that will also pave the way into their going into business with lots of confidence. But to begin with, tell us a little bit about ZNCC, what it is, as well as your membership, very briefly, so that we discuss in the right context.
You will see that Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce is one of the oldest business member organizations in Zimbabwe. Allow me to say in the Southern African region as well, is so much highly regarded. And we are saying Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce now began operations in as back as 1918. That's far there. And since all over the years, we have been looking into advocacy and lobbying of private sector business requirements by the private sector. And so we are saying all these people that we represent are coming in to say, how can we come together as a group and make sure that our interest as people who are doing business in Zimbabwe, we are well heard. By who? By the government, who are the policymakers, and also us as business to business people. This is a form of coming together in terms of networking. So we have been doing this, and we are looking forward to continuously making sure that our membership that spans across the country to more than 300,000 business companies registered under us thrive within the confines of Zimbabwe, both in Zimbabwe and internationally as well.
And they should not be scared by the fact that it's led by a doctor. Anyone who is in business and who wants to thrive in business can join your organization.
They are much welcome, and I think from the years that we have survived through the ups and downs, I think you can see that we are a successful organization that is representing the interest of the Zimbabwean business person.
Dr. Manzungu, say a little bit about your committees. You have different subcommittees, which even include a subcommittee on women and other important subcommittees. Tell us how they function in order for ZNCC to be effective.
Okay, thank you very much. So when we go for our Congress, we elect our National Executive Council, and this one is then led by the President, who is then deputized by the Deputy President. Then we have 4 regional Vice Presidents. And from there, we then select national committees that are managed at national level. And these include the trade subcommittee. And this one then is looking at dealing with the international world, international engagements, the regional engagements. We are talking also of you mentioned of the women committee. The women committee is the one. It's a newly established committee that is looking into making sure that the women are not left out. I think we have had a lot of issues to do with women and also the youth desks. And we are saying of all what we are doing, at least let's have 30 to 35% of what we do in terms of business establishments being women engagements. We are also lobbying to issues. For example, I'll give you an issue to do with price. It's something that we are lobbying on to say, price, when you are delegating or when you are giving out contracts, may you also look into the issue to do with women and the youth as well. Look for something like 30% and allocate to them so that they also become very active in business, because we believe that in this modern world, it's not because we are men that can only do work, but women can also do it same way as the youth desk. We also have the training school committee, which is also very important. These are new committees that we have engaged as a chamber as well to look into capacitation of our local business person whether you are learned or not, but we understand that you are able to do business. And for you to be able to do business, we need to make sure that as a chamber, we make sure that your interest in doing business are well capacitated by us as a chamber through engagement with the various organizations in the country or even internationally, and make sure that we produce the rightful business person in Zimbabwe, not a hustler.
In the second segment, we shall be looking mainly at the engagements that are taking place. But just to wind off this segment, an overview of ZNCC's way they are looking at the economic and business outlook in Zimbabwe. Very briefly on that one.
Okay, you will see that in the past 2 years we have been having COVID, and it has been a very great challenge that we have seen, and allow me to say, I would call it a mixed prospect for business. We cannot say we are really progressing very well. We cannot also say we are not moving on very well. But if you check the issue to do with the NDS1 that came into place in 2021 January, and this 2022 being the second year, we are trying to move towards an establishment. We have results in 2030. And meanwhile, we're trying to do that, then COVID comes. It comes as a big disadvantage to business. And while we are doing that, it is just that our local businesses in Zimbabwe are very resilient to the effects of things like COVID. Because by now, we could be seeing ourselves in the dark. Other countries have received allowances or sort of like, to say, relief from their governments, right?
And but you didn't.
In Zimbabwe, we tried to, we have some elements of those who managed to receive, but indeed many of our members, according to the survey that we did in 2021, most of our people have not yet benefited so far. So you'll see that among us that pandemic, we have issues to do with the exchange rate distortions. These are issues that are also bedeviling the economy. We are also having the issue to do with the shortage of foreign currency. For us to retool, for us to buy our materials, we are unable to do that as people who are in industry. The issue I was talking of, the issue to do with skills. Our people need to be capacitated. It's something also that is a challenge at the moment, because we...
And also contained in the NDS1.
Yes.
We'll continue with all that, Dr. Manzungu. That's Dr. Tinashe Manzungu, who is the president of the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce, ZNCC, who has come to share the views of business on various issues. And as I said, in the second segment, we shall be looking mainly at the engagements that they've been involved with different meetings that they've attended locally as well as abroad. So join us in the second segment. We're now in the second segment of today's Economic Forum, where we are discussing with the president of the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce, ZNCC, Dr. Tinashe Manzungu. In the last segment, Dr. Manzungu, you were just explaining about some of the challenges that you face in accessing foreign currency in order to do business. Maybe you can just wind up on that before we go to the engagements that you've been involved with.
Yeah, you would find that it's important to know that it is a problem that is being affected mainly because of the shortage. We are saying business is being affected by the shortage of foreign currency. And what we did as an association, as a chamber, I think in the last Congress that we had in 2021 in Victoria Falls, we also had the Reserve Bank governor, whom we also requested to have a say in terms of allocations. And indeed, we got the invitation by the Reserve Bank to come and sit on the allocation committee, wherefore we are going to be seeing or representing the interest of those who we call our members, people who are doing business. And since then, we've also been looking into those issues to say within the line of any economic sector, especially the issues to do with imports. We are talking of retailing, we are talking of materials. Our members should benefit. So we are also trying to make sure that our members who will have applied also get the portion, the piece of the cake on allocation. So
Are
this
you
is something.
seeing-
This is something that we have started off doing, and of course we have not yet reached to the level that we intend to see everyone benefiting, because it all depends on the availability of the foreign currency within the bank. But we are saying, from whatever is happening, we are saying our people who are in business are our target, and this is where we are going. We hope to continue to see an increased number of our people benefiting from that facility as we move with the year.
Let's now look at the various engagements that you've been involved with in recent months. We've had the Zimbabwe-Rwanda Trade and Investment Conference. You attended as ZNCC, and you personally also attended some of the sessions, and you've also come back from Zambia where you attended COMESA, and there was the Dubai Expo where ZNCC again was represented. Let's talk about those and see what your takeaways are. Maybe they are solving some of the problems that you've just highlighted.
Yeah, thank you very much. You will see to say several engagements that include diplomatic and bilateral agreements have been signed on government to government. And whenever that happens, we as people who are in business, we will not be left out. We make sure that we engage our colleagues who are in the same private sector. So in this case, you'd see that the Rwanda issue, the Rwanda, they have what they call the Private Sector Federation. This one is the same in line with what we call here Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce. And this is the organization that we engaged. They came to Zimbabwe mainly to strengthen a cooperation in us doing business with them. You would see that, for example, the issue to do with agriculture. Rwanda is a very small country, but they have done wonders. Why? Because the issues to do with, probably talk to the issue to do with policies, they have been fast-tracked also by the government. And what we're saying is, people in Zimbabwe, we want to learn from them. That's item number one. We are saying you can actually register a company within 6 hours in Rwanda. You can actually take Rwanda as a stepping stone to get to the eastern part of Africa, not only eastern part, but actually when we're in Zimbabwe, we're saying even including the northern parts and western parts of Africa, they've established themselves as a safe destination.
Dr. Manzungu, you have talked about all these engagements. Do they include everyone? Are they inclusive? Are the women there? Are the youth there? Are the rural folk there? Or they are only for you as members of ZNCC?
Yeah, of course. You see to say anyone can be a member of the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce. And that is why you see in the past 2 or 3 years, we now have the women's executive as well. We also have the SMEs desk. We also have, that includes also the youth desk. We are saying everyone can be a ZNCC member. And when the Rwanda Zimbabwe Trade Conference was just about to come, we advertised it. And when we advertise, we are not saying you should be a ZNCC member for you to participate. Everyone is so much welcome. And even up to now, even if you want, yes, the conference we have completed the issue to do with the conference, but it does not mean that was the end of engagement.
I'll stop you there for now as you explain about these engagements, and you have dwelt a lot about Rwanda. We're still going to talk about Dubai and some of your COMESA engagements. That's Dr. Tinashe Manzungu, who is the president of the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce, ZNCC, our guest today, who is telling us about how they are doing as the business community. So join us in the third and final segment of Economic Forum. This is the third and final segment of Economic Forum, where today we are discussing business with the president of the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Tinashe Manzungu, who in the second segment dwelt a lot about the Zimbabwe-Rwanda trade relations and how businesses, different businesses, including the youth, the women, and others who are based even in the rural areas, can benefit even post-conference. We are not going to dwell very much on the others, but just to mention the highlights of what we are taking away from Dubai, what we are taking away from the recent COMESA, and other conferences. Very briefly on that, especially focusing on the success stories.
Okay, in short, you see that there was the Zimbabwe Day during the Dubai Expo, and we managed to participate. And one key takeaway is to say our minerals are highly recognized out there. It's something that we have to take seriously. And already agreements and engagements have started on coming in. You would also to say even in the issue to do with agriculture, the issue to do with our own sugar is something that is highly on demand within Dubai. The issue to do with even peanut butter. So these are issues where we are saying our people have already started moving volumes to this Arab country as a gateway to the international world. Not to say it's applying in Dubai, but as a gateway to the international world. Then when we look into the issues to do with COMESA as well, we are talking of us as Commonwealth organizations that are coming together as Africans to make sure that they come for a common purpose. We are saying of the benefit of the Africa Free Continental Trade Area. We are saying it started last year. What are the benefits so far? Are we moving on as Zimbabweans? If we are not, where are we going wrong as people who are representing Zimbabwe, Rwanda inclusive, Zambia included, and all these other countries, 21 countries that we represent? We are saying this is a platform where we want our own people to benefit economically, not only businesses, but we are saying the way we live as a nation. So Africa should come together and make sure that we develop one's potential for the common good of our own growth.
Yes. COMESA has been around for quite some time. Just briefly, what you think really can be tangible that we can say we've succeeded in this way?
Yeah, of course. You see to say what is now happening. The issue to do with the what you call them. When you want to travel to Zambia, you don't need to apply for a visa in time while you are in Zimbabwe. You get to Zambia and you get your visa as you get to Zambia. When a Zambian wants to come to Zimbabwe, the same thing. When you go to Rwanda, the same thing. These are some of the successes that were not happening before.
One of the things that concerns you, that you are seized with as ZNCC, is capacitating local businesses, because you observe that at times they don't get engaged in some of the tenders or some of the contracts simply because they have not packaged themselves very well, they've not applied themselves very well, and those who come from other countries do so and end up snatching all the businesses. And as a result, you are capacitating through a training at a college. Tell us about that and the successes that you are scoring.
You see to say there are so many advantages of having this establishment, because issues to do with, you mentioned an issue to do with, say, procurement. Our people do not know how to deal with the price. And what we do as a training center, we invite the authority that deals with the issue to do with procurement. They come on board, and whoever wants to learn about procurement comes on board. And whether you are a member or a non-member, you are allowed to learn through this channel. So by the end of the training calendar, you know how to participate into tenders. You know how to do bids. And once that happens, it means that anyone can be a supplier. What it means is we are setting this in preparation also of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area issue. Because we were saying we want to go borderless, a borderless economy. Africa is a borderless economy. But we are saying, can a Zimbabwean contractor, a Zimbabwe building contractor, compare himself or herself with a builder who is building in Zambia or in Tanzania? For that to happen, you need also to capacitate your own people. How? Through engagements that also involve contractor management issues. Our own people who should be classified. We have categories A, B, C, D, up to even E. We are saying who comes into category A, we should classify our own people. We should also tell our people where to participate and when to participate and where not to participate. These are levels of construction. They have to be taught. They have to know what it takes for you to be a contractor A grade person. So once you learn about that, and once you learn on how to to participate in bids, you will be an able person, you'll be an able contractor who can participate in throughout the rest of Africa.
Are you seeing some good results, some tangible results that as a result of the training and capacitation that you are seized with, there is an improvement and more of our business persons are now able to do things the way you've just described?
Of course, this is not an event, but it is a journey. We are saying right now we are almost 1 year old as the training center, and we have trained quite a number of our own people who are in business. And what we look forward to now is the implementation. To say now we need to see our people participating, and this is gaining traction by each day in the issues to do with price, in the issues even to do with standards in our organization. We invite SARS, come SARS, talk to our people. They know how standards are done, and once that happens, our people become very able to compete as well. We are talking of issues also that may deal with the issues to do with company registration itself, the issue to do with formalization. I think there's a great mark there, because you see, to say a lot of people are highly informalized, but the reason for them not being formalized is because they don't know the advantages of being formalized. Whatever they are running away from, they are now slowly seeing that it is not something to be running away from. So our people are now getting on board to formalize. And once that happens, government is able to collect its tax. These people are also able to get credit lines from the banks.
And government is also able to assist business, especially with the ease of doing business.
Yes.
Dr. Manzungu, we can go on and on, but a very interesting discussion that we've had, very informative and educative. That's Dr. Tinashe Manzungu, who is the president of the Zimbabwe National Chamber of Commerce. Today we're looking mainly at the business outlook, and we also looked at the results of some of the engagements that ZNCC and other organizations have been involved with in recent months. And finally, Dr. Manzungu was telling us about capacitation of our own businesses so that they can bid and succeed here in Zimbabwe as well as on the continent of Africa. Dr. Manzungu, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Mr. Masuku.
Yes. Until next time on the program Economic Forum, this is John Masuku on behalf of the production crew.